Yo, are you stressed out right now? I am. And that is why I have put together a list of my top 7 favorite free-to-play games that also happen to be good for relieving anxiety. Let's go. Up first is maybe my favorite game on this list, cannot lie. Starting off strong, it's Harmony, relaxing music puzzles for iOS and Android, brought to you by InfinityGames.io. How do I even explain this game? Essentially, each puzzle you're presented with starts with one axis of reflection and some icons that are already lit up. What you have to do is use that axis to figure out what reflections would exist and place those icons appropriately. What I love about this game is that there's no timer and there's no tough logic, no numbers, it's all visual. All you gotta do is stare at each puzzle long enough and eventually your brain will just figure it out, which I love. I think the main draw of this game for me is the sound and just how calming it is that every time you tap, the instrument plays a note, and if you tap in a certain rhythm, they just play together so beautifully. I mean, listen to this. Oh, I love it. And it's a puzzle game at the same time. It's so nice. You get to unlock different instruments as you play. You can pay to unlock instruments, which I did because I saw that there was a hang drum in there, which is my favorite instrument of all time. And I just couldn't wait all the way until World 10 to unlock it. Oh man, at the end of the day, it just sounds so nice. Guys, play this one with headphones. Give it a try. I love it. Harmony. Up next on this list is an origami-inspired game called Kami 2 for iOS and Android, brought to you by State of Play. Ooh, pretty paper. I love it. While the name of this game might suggest that it's going to be all about folding paper, in reality, it's a game about coloring sections of paper in the correct order so that every color on the board matches, and thus letting you fold everything into a tiny little hexagon of love and happiness. Wow, is that satisfying? Yes. Yes, it is. It does start out painfully simple, but it also gets painfully difficult very quickly. But don't worry, the difficulty spike here doesn't need to stress you out because you have as much time as you need to solve each puzzle, and you can do them in different orders. The downside here is that unlike other free-to-play games, there isn't an option to watch ads for hints. So if you get stuck, you're stuck indefinitely until you either pony up some cash or have your come to Jesus moment and figure out what you need to do. Once you've played the first few levels, the game unlocks a level editor where you can make your own puzzles that you publish with your best score for others to beat. I thought I was making very cool and interesting puzzles right out of the gate, but as soon as I booted up the explore page and saw what other people were actually doing, I realized that there was a lot of work to do. Kami 2 is a really interesting concept, and I think a fun new take on origami as a puzzle element. Also, I just can't get enough of the animation of the colored tiles filling the screen after you tap a color and then it changes and then, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. You can't deny. Look at it. Third up on the list is a little game called Blue for iOS and Android by Bartbonti. Blue is another puzzle game, but let me tell you, it is a weird one, and it sets itself apart from every other puzzle game I have ever played. I can't really show you too many levels because I don't want to spoil all the solutions, but each level has its own unique goal that isn't clearly defined to the player. It's essentially like if the WarioWare franchise got some therapy, reconnected with its family, and really learned to slow down and enjoy the simpler pleasures of life. There are 50 levels here. They range from very simple to surprisingly complex, and it's definitely one of the shorter games on this list, but it's free, and also Bartbonti has made a bunch of other games just like this with different colors from yellow, red, black. He even just came out with a green. I will say though that blue is the most relaxing color, so I found playing blue to be the most chill experience out of all of them. Okay, that's all I can say about Blue. I don't want to show you too many of these puzzles and spoil the whole game for you guys, so let's quickly move on to the fourth game of this list. Okay, bye Blue! Moving right along, we have number 4 on our list, Tiny Wings. Look, it's not a puzzle game! You're welcome, everybody. Tiny Wings came out on iOS on February 18th, 2011, so it's definitely an oldie, but definitely a goodie. The game's all about momentum. Basically, you'll hold your thumb on the screen to get your bird to do a nosedive, and then you let go to let them fly, and you want to match the descent of your bird with the slopes of the hills so that they don't lose momentum and can just continue to fly further and further off into the sunset. Day Trip is the more chill mode out of the two, allowing you to compete with yourself to just get further and further every day. Day Trip also gives you small objectives to complete, like touch the clouds 3 times or collect 200 coins. They're pretty easy and doable and are little ways that will help you feel like you're progressing even though you're technically just doing the same thing over and over again. On the other side of the spectrum, Flight School pits you against 3 other birds who mess up way less than any normal human does, and honestly just kind of stressed me out. I didn't like seeing just how far ahead the other bird was, and it made me mess up more and I couldn't get in a groove. And honestly, if you're looking for a relaxing game, just maybe don't play Flight School. There's really not much else to say about this game. I will just throw on some music and be going up and down these hills, flying, doing my best, chasing that sun over and over again. It's endless. By the way, I know this game's just for iOS, but I wanted to give a shout out to Alto's Adventure, a very similar game that's free to play on Android, but like $3 on iOS. I'm very confused. It's a very similar endless runner and momentum style game. It has a really nice soundtrack, beautiful visuals. If you have Android and can't get Tiny Wings, I definitely suggest you check out Alto's Adventure, also for free. Next up on the list is a game near and dear to my art school heart, Blendoku 2 for iOS and Android, published by Lonely Few. The game gives you a bunch of color swatches and tasks you with placing them in a predetermined grid in the correct order to create different gradients. The game starts out very simply with a single gradient from white to gray, but very quickly the game gets more and more complex as the gradients start to intersect with each other and different colors are involved. It gets crazy, but also very relaxing. Trust me. You have as much time as you need, and you can make as many mistakes as you want as you drag and drop the color swatches down onto the grid, realize that they're not in the right place, swap them around to get the perfect gradient in as little time as possible. As you complete more and more levels, you unlock lots of things from different background colors, different palette shapes, or even painting levels that task you with recreating all the colors needed to complete real works of art. There is a lot to unlock here, and honestly, I am just at the very beginning of this game. I opened Master the other day just to see what we were working with, and I'm not ready. But the simple levels are definitely chill, relaxing, and a calm, good time. Number 6 on this list brings to mind the mantra, don't judge a book by its cover. It's called Grass Cut for iOS and Android, developed by a studio called Full Fat, which I love. There really isn't a lot to this game. You're just given an island covered in grass, tasked with cutting all the grass. It's pretty straightforward, but honestly super satisfying. The game gives you control over 2 rotating blades connected by a rope, and every time you click the screen, it anchors the currently swinging blade in the ground and starts swinging the other one. If it wasn't satisfying enough just seeing all that 3D grass fall away as you're trimming it, the game also vibrates your device as it's cutting things, which adds to the tactile feel and just makes it that much more satisfying. There are a couple little extras in this game. You can collect diamonds, which let you buy slightly less terrifying cutters than the default blades that the game starts with. You can also enter fever mode by collecting 3 flowers on a level, which extends your rope to super long and essentially lets you clear the level in record time. Grass cut. Simple, easy, relaxing. That's all I need. And that's all I'm getting. So I guess we're good. Thanks, Grass Cut. Last up on this list of 7 free-to-play games to help you relax is Viridi, out for iOS and Android and PC. The game was released on mobile on June 20th, 2016 by Icewater Games. I use the word game here a little loosely. It's essentially a gardening simulator that gives you a pot and a bunch of succulents to grow and water and nurture, bringing the joys of the outdoors into your home. Or really, the joys of in your home to in your phone. Basically, all you need to do here is make sure that your plants are watered, your weeds are plucked, and that your snail is happy. I'm one of those people that finds plants to be cute. I love them, and I love my pot. But more than anything, I love my snail. I named him Gary. And that's gonna do it from a list of free-to-play games to help you chill out while you're stuck at home. Let me know down below what kind of lists you'd like to see in the future. What games do you want me to suggest? I have many opinions, and I will give them to you if just ask for them. Thanks guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, Jared here. I hope you liked that video. If you did, leave us a like. Make sure to subscribe and check out the other videos that we got hanging out on our channel. They're all pretty fun.